Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. I took last week off and winter is really hard on me. My creative mojo is gone. I just have not felt like creating. So for that, you have my deepest, sincerest apologies. On another note, I spent the week redoing my recording stuff again. You're seeing way more of the desk because I grabbed a camcorder that was on sale at a local store. Well, it's not local, it's worldwide known for music equipment. It's called Sweetwater, and they had the camcorder I wanted and it was on sale. So let me pull you in a little closer. And I'm hoping this is, I may have to futz with the zoom, and it just, to me on my screen, and it may be the monitor that I bought, it just doesn't seem crisp. So I'll have to play this back and see if I need to mess around with the focus on this. So missing Mojo, I'm missing it a lot. And I went out and I have been scouring Pinterest and I found a bunch of sketches or card templates that others have utilized. These are not my designs at all. I want to give each person and designer and the person who created this particular sketch or any sketches that I use, I am giving them full kudos. If I find it on Pinterest, I will link it back to their specific pin, not those that have pinned it to their own boards, but the actual creators. So Cindy H was a host on Freshly Made Sketches. I don't know the date that she did this, but it was Freshly Made Sketches 229. And when I was out at the blog, they're like up in the 400s now. So this is the sketch I'm using, and you can see this is the card I made, and we're going to actually create this on camera tonight. And I'll have this linked down below in the video description, as well as out on my blog in my free resources. That way you can go find it. And like I said, I'll have a link, and I've actually detailed out what the pin is. And then down here at the bottom, if you've printed this off and you're not sure how to get back to this, this is my YouTube channel. You can just scan this QR code, and this is for my blog. You can scan that QR code. So I will have that over on my blog, free resources, and a link to it down below. Now, the things I'm using today for this is, of course, the master layouts. I'm using Master Layout 1, Master Layout 11. And for the front of this card, let's just concentrate on one at a time. That maybe will help my mojo. So this top layer, you've got a top layer which is Applemint, and then underneath them is the matte, and that is charcoal brown. That is from Master Layout 1, the 2 rectangles. And over here in the corner, I have the actual measurements. So if you don't have the master layouts, you'll be able to recreate this card as close as possible. This brown strip in the back, that is also charcoal brown, and that is a 1/2 inch wide. And I actually cut it 5.5 and then I cut it down. So we're going to do that as well. But if you wanted to cut it ahead of time, it's a 1/2 by 5 inches. Then these little squares, those are from Master Layout 11. It's this plain square, and the decimal is 1.675 by 1.675. And as close as I could get that is 1 5/8. So I cut 3 of those out. Now on the inside of the card, I did a little bit of decorating myself. Same thing, master layout 1, and those are the dimensions for the rectangles 1 and 2. And then I put a little mushroom there in the center. So the stamp set I'm using, it's currently, I believe, this is no longer available. It's called Nature Walk by Gina K Designs, and the cardstock was also Gina K Designs. So I'll pull that here in just a minute. But I used this itty bitty little mushroom because it fit perfectly on this square, and then the background, I did this fern. Feel free to use whatever is in your stash that fits in this square and for stamping the background. This is one of those stamp sets I've had in my stash that I've never used, and it's very cute. I like it. So what else? Cardstock. So let me grab my trimmer. So we'll use this here in a minute. Heavyweight Gina K Designs Ivory cardstock. This is going to be the base, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and I'll get my scoring tool and we'll score that at 4 1/4. This is the layering weight. Sorry, my OCD there. This is the layering weight Ivory by Gina K, and oops, I still have those measurements up there. So let me go ahead and throw that up there again. These are the squares that are 1 5/8 by 1 5/8, and I have 3 of those. Then for the front, we've got the Applemint. Oh, I could not pick that up. And the charcoal brown. I've already cut all this out, and see how it just layers just like that. And then for the inside, I have another matte, same as this right here, top layer and matte layer. And this is just some charcoal brown cardstock, and we're going to go ahead and cut off a 1/2 inch. Just like that. So let me pause you and get the next step set up. And I did say I was going to get my scoring tool. I have had this We Are scoreboard for years. I started stamping in 1986 originally. And this is one of the things, I don't know if I bought it then, but I've had this a very long time. I also have Gina K's. I like both of them. This just gives, in my opinion, this gives me a little more control. And you can see I did Sharpie when I was doing my interactive scrapbooking. These are the common measurements for my scrapbook pages. So let's get that aside. And I don't know, let's see what's first. Let's go ahead and get this scored over, burnished down. First things first. Oop, I can see my cat's been up here. I just saw some cat hair. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get just this foam mat. This is just some scrap cardstock I had, and I'm gonna grab a block and the fern. And you can see I got really inky when I was doing this background, because not only did I stamp it, I then took a blending brush and kind of took a little bit of the harshness out. Not harshness, but the brightness of the Applemint. You can see this one here on the right, it's not as bright as the one on the left. So next things we're going to need is, you need to know what inks I'm using. So I am using Christmas Pine, Kraft, and Warm Cocoa. And the Christmas Pine, these are the ink from the ink stand. I just love, 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 love. I'm going to put that over there so you can see it. And I'm I'm going to turn it this way since my stamp is long this way. Then I am just going to stamp this instead of using, I do not use the blocks as much as I used to. I used to use the blocks all the time as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator because I could never get the Stamparatus to work for me. Oops, rock that one a little. Oh, that's good. It didn't go nuts on me. I'm trying to do this random. And I'm just going to do the tip right there. That was just a little bit of a blank space. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. There. I think that's good. Okay, let me clean this off. Somewhere I have a microfiber towel and some water. And I'm going to move that out of the way. And I just spritz my stamp with water. I used to have a scrub pad that Stampin' Up! Used to use. I lost it in the my last move. So, don't need this fern anymore, so let me put it back. And it is gonna get cold. I am recording this on Sunday night, what is it, the 25th. And I'm just gonna use Gina K's blending brush. And I need sticky note because I am going to get inky if I don't. So tap off in big circles. I'm taking the blending boot camp. And I mutz that up right there. Push that down. Light pressure. Oops, sorry for my text messages. There. I think that's enough of what I want to do. I think that's good. That's actually more ink on there. I did mutz that up. That'll get hidden behind one of the squares, so we're good. We are absolutely good. And I'm going to turn this over next. So let's get this strip. And I've got my silicone mat that I used from Stampin' Up! And I want some glue. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And I use the silicone mat, so this is not 5 inches, this is 5.5. And I'm just eyeballing to the side. I just want to make sure I get this as straight as possible. And give it a minute to set. Then I'm going to turn it over and I'm just going to snip this excess off, and I just set that down right in it. That's okay. Not sure where all the texting is going on. I should have muted my phone. Sorry about that. And put the stopper back on the glue bottle for right now. Actually, no. Let's open that back up. I'm out of practice. This has been a minute since I've done some cards. Like I said, cold weather and me, it's a struggle. It is really a struggle. Oop. Okay, and I've got my big block, and I'm going to set that up here off to the side with the block on it. And don't need the silicone mat, but I will need this in a minute. And the Misti needs to make an appearance. So now I'll close up the glue. Man, I am really getting inky. I'm going to go wash my hands, so I'm going to pause you. Okay, that was really interesting because I have no idea where all of that ink came from. Very interesting. It looked like it was from the fern stamp, but I don't know. That's just the bizarrest thing. Okay, let's move on to mushrooms. And for the mushroom, we're going to use 2 different inks. And I'm going to use, even though I grabbed and showed you the large, because this guy is so little and so cute, I'm going to use my ink spots or my ink cubes. And the way I'm doing this is I'm just picking, and I'm picking number 4 over here, and where the top point and the bottom point line up on one of the grids in the bottom of the Misti with this point on the 4, that's where I want it. You use whatever method works for you. I want that square right there. Excuse me, I hiccuped. Right there so that I can put each one of these squares in the exact same spot and not have to move this mushroom. And how I did this is I'm going to stamp this twice. That light there for this, that's going to have to change. But with the Kraft ink, I'm going to ink this up once. And then I'm going to do it again, so twice. And the first time I did this, I'm like, I don't know about that mushroom. So let me get you in a little closer. So I'm looking at that mushroom. I'm like, I don't know about that mushroom. It just doesn't look right. So I grabbed the warm cocoa and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna see what the warm cocoa looks like. And look at that. Look at this. It's gonna smooth out, but that is just so stinking cute. This is what it's gonna look like when it's dry. But it just looks so darn cute. So let me get the other 2 pieces in here. So I'm gonna line that up with a 4, point to point. Then I'm just gonna wipe off that warm cocoa so I don't contaminate my Kraft pad. And let's get the Kraft. Wipe that off. And warm cocoa. Oops, put that over there. So one more, and we are going to stamp the inside. So line that point up with 4, top, bottom. Let's wipe that guy off. Kraft. Wipe this guy off. I'm going to try something. This may not work. That's fine. Let's see if I can kiss this a little. Nope, it's just not working. I'm just in a hurry. And there you go. So let's wipe this guy. I'm going to actually rinse him off because I'm going to actually pick him up and move him. So let me grab the inside panel. We're going to put this guy, we're going to put him over here. There. And Kraft. Oh, I can move you out just a little. Sorry, I had you super close. So let's get this Kraft. Kraft. Let's wipe him down. And then warm cocoa. Perfect. So pull this little guy off. Let's rinse this mushroom off. Get him where he needs to go. And I'll be right back with all of this cleaned up. Okay, I'm gonna get you in close and I'm gonna jiggle the camera. Oops, super close. Okay, so from Ohuhu, I am using, what is this? E280. And I'm just gonna color in the stem of these mushrooms, and then underneath the mushroom cap, it just adds a little something. And I'm gonna do that with all of these mushrooms. Try to not get outside the line. And I'm not lingering. This is Gina K's ink, and the black onyx you're supposed to be able to use with the alcohol. So I'm assuming since this is from the same line, you can also use alcohol markers. I just didn't want to stamp the mushrooms in black. Okay, let me pull you back out. I've got a remote on order so that I don't have to keep reaching up and moving the camera. Okay, what's next? Next. Let's get this panel mounted, and on the inside of our card, oh, I do need that card. Oh, I don't know why I was trying to open the mat. Distracted. And here's our card base. So let me put this on the inside. Just like that. And I'm going to use some minty tape to keep this closed so that we can work on the front, because here is our front panel. We're going to go ahead and secure this, and then we're going to get those squares lined up, and the strip needs to be on the left hand side. Just like that. And get that down for just a moment. Oh, one last thing. Oh, almost forgot. And I put it away. Where's my warm cocoa? So I have a foam dauber. Oh, there we go. Ah, Gina said, and so has Brienne Loveland, the owner of the ink stand. Where's my alcohol? And I'm going to cover this. If your inkstand travels. That was really wet. There. I had dust on the bottom of my inkstand. I'm a believer. It's true. Look at that. It's not moving now. So when I rearranged and built this desk, I should say shipping table, yeah, I've stirred up a ton of dust. So all I'm doing is I'm taking a foam dauber and I'm going to yo-yo you for just a second so you can see this. I'm just distressing the edge a little, just to give it a little bit of interest so that it's not this plain piece of ivory cardstock that's sitting on the front of the page or front of the card. And I'm doing this because I didn't feel like trying to cut mats. And I know Master Layout 11, it had a mat for this, but the dimensions of the A2 card, I don't think it was going to work. But I used to do this with all my interactive scrapbooks using distress ink. I think I used walnut stain for mine, or vintage photo. Okay, and then, whoop, dropped what I was going to get. I'm just going to turn those over. And yes, I still have dimensionals left from Stampin' Up. I'm gonna use them because I'm not wasting money. I collected these over, I think I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator for 4 years. This last time, it was 2 years back in 26 and 27 when I lived in Texas, and then I moved, and I just kind of didn't lose interest. I just lost the friends I had down there that stamped. So I think that got all of them. Normally I color the back of, I color this with a highlighter. Whoops, oh shoot. No, don't stick. Okay, we'll just give 2 more. Oh, Butterfingers. We'll just pull those off. Maybe, maybe not. But what I was going to show you, sorry for my arm, I normally get a highlighter and just run this over the backing. So I know when I put this on my card front or on whatever I'm popping up, I can see it. That bothers me. Okay, that's what not to do. Don't drop it. Okay, and then for this, I'm going to use my tweezers. Oops, I put 2 new ones on there and I hadn't taken the backing off. See, that's why I like to color them with a highlighter. Okay, so the first one I do, I'm trying to get this equidistant to the left and to the top. So I'm going to use there. And I'm going to, oh, I can move you out a little. I'm sorry. There. And oops, that backing also did not come off. That little sticky tool I used didn't do good a job as I thought it would. And then I'm lining this point up, but at the same time also, this one's crooked. I can see it now. No, I just needed to move it out a little. No, it's crooked. We're going to see if we can. Sometimes, nope, I stuck that one down. That's okay. Now this one, before I let it stick to, yeah, that first one was really crooked. That's really crooked. Sometimes, there, I was able to peel it up. It's not as crooked. That's awesome. Okay, so greeting. Oops, sorry about that. That's why I want the remote control to help me. So greetings. I went through and I've got a ton of greetings, and I know I had done some in brown, and I want to do a thank you. And this doesn't work because it's on black, but I thought I had done some thank yous in a brown and I couldn't find one. So this is many thanks. It's done in black, but we're going to see if we can alter that. And I need Kraft. I need my Kraft. Because this is on white cardstock and not ivory. Whoops. This is Kraft, and this is my brown brush, and I don't know what was on here last. It might have been Kraft. I'm just taking my microfiber brush and I'm moving off as much of that ink as possible. And Gina taught this. So just lightly, big circles, back and forth, and you can see, I think you can see it. It's definitely not white anymore. And that black doesn't quite look black anymore. So I think you can see it. But that many thanks we're going to put right down there. And let me grab these little highlighted ones, so you can see why I do what I do on this with a highlighter. And then let me cover that ink up. I will stick something in it the way I'm going tonight. And right there you can see if there's no yellow, I've picked it up. And let me grab that up there out of my way. There. You can't really, I mean, it was stamped in black, but the way it's got the Kraft ink on it, you really can't tell. So last item of importance here is from Cartwright Sequins and Beads, this chameleon crystal confetti. I thought that was a really neat contrast. I threw some brown on it because I've got a brown metallic, and I was like, no, we've got to do the green. And this is the matte Gina K Designs glue. Design glue. It dries as the name says, matte. So we're just going to randomly put so there's 4. I'm trying to do things in 5s. So 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, I've got 7. So I need 7 gems. So let me grab my pick and stick. So there's 1. Oops, 1. Come on, stick. Oh, this just doesn't want to stick. Okay. I might have had that one upside down. I think the end of this is sticky. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, yes, I just wiped off the end of my wax tip. I think it was, oh, I hope I'm not getting my head in the way. I'm leaning on my table. There. I think these are fun. And my hopes is, I used to film using my mom's old iPhone, and I'm going to try to set that up on my die cutting area. So there you are. That is how I got my missing mojo back tonight. I had a lot of fun making this. And like I said, I'll have this out on my, or I'll have the description down there with a link out in my blog that you can go ahead and download it. And if Cindy H ever sees this, I very much appreciate you helping me get my mojo back. And I really hope that you don't mind that I use this. I should have reached out to you beforehand, and I apologize for not doing that. But thank you. I've got that spark. That spark is kindling again. I just, for a week now, just was looking through Pinterest and nothing was sparking my interest. And this sketch, it did the trick. So thank you, Cindy, for putting this out there and for hosting on Freshly Made Sketches. I very much appreciate it. Everything I have used tonight, I will have listed down below. Again, this particular stamp set, it was on clearance at Gina K Designs. I think when I looked the other day, I think I saw the dies are still there, but the stamps are gone. So find something in your stash that you've not yet used and recreate this card. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time very much. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, if you would click that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell for all notifications so you don't miss my next video, and I am back in the saddle and we'll get more posted. Also, while you're down there, if you would hit that like button, I very greatly appreciate it. And until next time, happy stamping.